Sorry to keep you waiting. Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy, and welcome back to more Kid Icarus Uprising. Last time, we saw the rare augmented reality card idols that had never been released at that point in time, and this time, well, okay. I promised a few more things for this series than whatever ultimately got done. And I'm gonna let you know up front, we are covering everything else other than Together mode in this video. I said I would do several different things and would like to give this series its own bonus video before doing that, since there's so much to say about the multiplayer. And about the multiplayer, as I've looked into it again, I found out that other than really basic information like which powers you unlock from doing it, which I've already gone over, there's just not a lot of reliable information out there about it. If you have any tips about multiplayer, which weapons are known to be good, what the general community felt about this game in its time, I'd like to hear it, because a lot of the information regarding the multiplayer is very decentralized. There's not really a definitive tier list that I've been able to find. A lot of them contradict one another whenever people have tried making them. And then you also have a lot of it just existing in forum posts where people are saying, oh yeah, the Ogre Club is god tier, it's so amazing, and then someone else is like, nah, the Ogre Club is trash, get that out of here, it's the Medusa Orbiters is where it's at, and then someone else will come along and say, the Medusa Orbiters are alright. So it's very decentralized information. Any help that you could give I would appreciate, and that even extends to this video. If there's anything that you feel should be a part of the series that is not here today, I'd like to hear that as well. So, getting into what this is meant to be, a lot of new things related to Kid Icarus Uprising have been discovered in the years since we last touched it, and even newly released content has appeared, so let's move out. I see nowhere else better to start but Chapter 1, The Return of Palutena. Kid Icarus Uprising was first written in English and then localized into Japanese. There's several unused lines of dialogue that have no equivalent recorded in Japan. Here's one from Palutena's explanation of the 3D depth slider.
You can adjust the feeling of depth using the 3D slider on the right.
I can hardly believe my eyes.
Set it to your liking.
Unfortunately, not every unused voice clip is that interesting. Many are just vague pits going, whoa, and Palutena going, this looks familiar.
Whoa!
Now this looks familiar.
So I won't be showing all of them, just ones that I personally found interesting. And you all know this game, nothing interesting happens for 8 chapters, so Chapter 9, I cannot say that with a straight face. Chapter 9 is the next point that I want to hit. In the Boundary Break episode for Kid Icarus Uprising, we see Hades ripping the fake credits off the screen has more animation than we get to see in-game. I would recommend checking out this video because it has all sorts of great tidbits like that. Moving on to Chapter 10, one thing I said this video would include is conversations I didn't get in the first playthrough, since my understanding was that they were all based on requirements being met. Turns out, no, they're completely random. Some of them will even play in random chapters, so there's not much of a systematic way for me to show all of them to you. I'll just play you one of my personal favorites that I remember getting the first time I played.
Tell me, Pitty Pat, why exactly can't you fly?
Oh, real original. Like I haven't heard that one before. Not to mention, it's none of your business.
So sorry. I didn't realize it was such a sensitive subject.
Oh, don't worry about him. He's fine. His wings just don't work right.
Hey, whose side are you on?
Thank you to Angel Princess 2431. Their channel has almost every little tiny side conversation that can happen in Kid Icarus Uprising, and even if it's camcorder vision, I still recommend checking it out. The battle at the start of this chapter is such a beautiful and terrifying moment. That's all I really had to say about it. I just can't say enough good about Chapter 11. Viridi's theme in this chapter is probably my second favorite song in the game, too.
Heading out!
In Chapter 16, the Aurum Hive's battle theme was meant to go on for longer than it does in-game. This was only ever heard in the official soundtrack. We all remember the Ring of Chaos. This chapter is by far the most rich with unused dialogue. For one, Pitt was going to monologue to himself for longer.
What are those Centurions doing? Why are Palatena's troops attacking the town? What is going on here? I've got to get to the bottom of this. Oh man, this can't be happening. How am I attacking humans? Everything's gone off the rails. Now what am I supposed to do? Take myself down? I guess I don't have a choice.
I'm kind of glad this was cut because the section at the beginning goes on for just the right amount of time and I could see it very easily overstaying its welcome. More interesting point is that there's a conversation between Pitt and Magnus that gives more lore. Unfortunately, the botched audio mixing that I'm about to play for you is the only way that these sound clips exist.
There was a war between the underworld and the forces of nature. Early in the war, Palatena's army vanished.
3 years?
That was 3 years
That's
ago.
over 1,000 days!
Yeah, thanks for the math lesson. Anyway, when Palatena's forces reappeared, they began launching attacks across the land. As you can imagine, this was a shock to the humans. No one knows what happened. Did your goddess just lose her mind?
Don't ask me. I've been a ring. But I know I have to do something. There must be some way we can reason with her.
It's possible that someone else has taken over her entire army.
Okay, first things first. That guy attacking the town? That wasn't me.
So, your mind is here, but your body is over there destroying stuff. Isn't that convenient?
I got an achievement from showing you that. Shows I still had a long way to go. I'm not gonna make you sit through Are We There Yet, the movie, but the Lightning Chariot. I want to show boundary break zoom out of the boss fight. It's stunning for 3DS, or for any game really. And this game doesn't even use culling. It has this rendered at all times. Scorched feathers. For such a serious moment, this one's kind of funny. In Europe, one of Dark Pit's lines is different.
Hold on a second. Your math is a little off. You might want to break out the brain age, pal. You might want to break out the brain training, pal.
If you didn't know that Brain Age was called Brain Training in Europe, his line sounds infinitely more condescending. I've already mentioned that in the Japanese version of Chapter 25, Pit sneezes in Hades' face instead of the way we got it.
Hades! 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 Excuse you. But anyway, now it's real!
The reasons for this are unknown, but high-quality artwork of Pit sneezing that goes unused in our version has surfaced. Moving on to that newly released content I was telling you about, I have some excellent news. After years and years and years of nothing, the idol card Pit Victory was finally released! In a countdown to Super Smash Bros. Ultimates, I know, that much later after this game's release, the Japanese Twitter account for Kid Icarus Uprising, as well as the European and American Nintendo Twitter accounts, released a picture of the card that works in-game and everything. After Hades' ultimate destruction, Pit's exclamation of victory isn't inspired by the thrill of defeating his nemesis or the gratitude he feels for Palutena. Rather, it is a spontaneous expression of joy and relief. I know the idols are just little side trophies, but having this finally officially released was extremely cathartic to me. So, what about Medusa Rare? You ever gonna release that one? Unless another tweet comes our way the day that Super Smash Bros. Mega Ultimate releases, she remains the only AR card to never be released. Rare is right. This is actually one reason why this video took so long to come out. I had circumstances where I could have made it last year, and then Pit Victory got released out of nowhere, and I was thinking, oh, are they gonna officially release Medusa Rare as well? I better wait on that. But don't worry, you're not screwed, and it is kind of a good thing that I waited. Reddit users, crew. Sorry, I try to do my best with foreign pronunciations. And Reddit user and unknown were able to decode the card's appearance so accurately that this faked image works in-game. Scan your screen right now to finally finish your collection. Hades reconstructs Medusa from countless souls woven around a core of pure hatred for Palutena. Oblivious to the true cause of her resurrection, Medusa sets out to take revenge and conquer the three worlds completely. Other than the elusive Together mode, which I will still be advertising when I'm online playing for recording this, that has not changed all these years later, there is one last thing that I said I would do. Golden Laurels, I said was related to collecting every treasure chest in a level, and that I would be showing you a compilation of how you can get these. Turns out I was wrong. They're not related to every treasure chest. In fact, getting every treasure chest at a stage has nothing to do with 100% completion at all. And I know this because there were a few treasure chests I never got, and I have gold laurels on every chapter. It's only certain treasures that matter. Instead of just cheaping out and not doing it at all because I was mistaken, I'm going to give you a compilation of every action that results in getting gold laurels. This will just be a nice, simple place that you can come back to if you ever want to replay this game and want to make sure that you got everything important along the way. It'll also tell you the minimum intensity that you need to play on in order to do everything in a chapter. As we get this started, I'd like to thank the cutting room floor for some of this information. If there's anything other than Together mode that should be in this series and isn't yet, let me know, and it might be in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time.